Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 235 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. I made a purchase. This is what I bought. All right, I bought this, what is it, Nespresso? If you drink coffee, you probably heard of Nespresso. They have pods. You put it in, you press it down, the coffee comes out. The problem is, my mother has a Nespresso machine. These pods are too big for the machine my mom has. And this isn't just about this package. This is why I'm a failure. Okay, because I need to return this package. All right, there's about, I don't know, maybe there might be 40, 50, 60 pods, pods in this box. And I believe it costs $50, maybe a little over $50 after shipping and handling and all that jazz. So it's not the type of purchase, it's not going to break me if I don't return it, but $50 is real money. We could all use $50. I would love $50. I could buy a baseball card. I'm getting the itch to buy another baseball card. I haven't opened up eBay since the new year, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. We're still saying that here. I've been the itch to buy. I try not to spend any money other than bills and expenses the first 4 months of the year. And now that it's May, I got that itch to buy something for myself, to buy myself a little present. You should do that. If you work full-time, buy yourself a present. Don't save it all. Live that life of yours. You're ugly. You might as well enjoy it because nobody else enjoys you. So you might as well give your own self a present. But I could use that $50. But this box represents so much more than just the $50 I will get back once I return it. But I know myself enough to know that chances of me returning this are under 50%. I honestly don't know if I'll return this or not. I have returned other items that, whatever, I don't like it, the size doesn't fit, the person I bought it for, they don't like it. I've returned packages before. Not my favorite activity to do, but I've done so because I'm a responsible adult sometimes. But here's the thing. I bought these Nespresso pods, coffee pods, maybe over a month ago. Definitely over a month ago. The first day I bought them, I tried it in my mother's Nespresso machine, realized, oh, these don't fit in the machine. I need to return these. This chair right here, since I realized these are no good for the machine my mom has, when I'm not filming, this box occupies this chair. All right, and this studio is also my bedroom. It's basically my home. I work here, I sleep in this room, I work in this room, I record verbal graffiti in this room. All my baseball cards are in this room. My whole life is in this room. And whenever I sneak a babe, get some sniz, it's usually in this room. So every day, right, when I'm working, where I have the camera now, a little beyond that camera is a desk with a laptop. That's my work laptop. While I'm working, a few times a day, I'll glance over and I'll look at that Nespresso box right here. And I'll think to myself, I should return that. I should go to UPS. I should go to the package store. I should print the return label, get that $50 back. Maybe it's $42 after the shipping and handling and all that. But that's my money, right? I didn't use anything. There's nothing nefarious going on. It's just that the size doesn't fit. I want to return it. I don't return it though. That's the problem. Each day I wake up a few times a day. I glance at this box, say I should go to UPS, say I should print that return label, go during my lunch hour, go return it. I don't do it. That says something about me and my makeup. And what it says is that's why I'm a failure. It's not the only reason, but it's partially the reason why I don't make six figures. Why I'm not a success at stand-up comedy. Because there's just something in me that sees something so clearly, so evident, that is literally feet away from me, right underneath my nose, that I know I need to do. I don't need to do it, but I should do it, but I don't do it. And the problem is, it's not the money. It's not even it being under my nose, like being right there next to me and seeing it. That is the problem. It's not even it's not the money that bothers me. It's not even seeing the package that I should return that bothers me. It's the thought, the lingering thought that is taking up space in my corrupted mind that bothers me. That doesn't leave me. That thought I had, that lingering sense that I should return this package and get the money back, that's taking up real estate in my brain, and I can't get rid of it until I return this package. But for some reason, I don't return this package. And every day that goes by where I don't return these Nespresso pods takes up more real estate in my head. And there's not an anxiety, but there's an uneasiness that just fills up my soul that I haven't returned this package yet. I need to do it, but I'm not doing it. And it's always been that way. I've always had that. I have a thing too with, I have two propane tanks for an outside normal grill. Right? Whenever one is empty, I try to refill the empty one so there's always a spare, right? Because there's nothing worse. Oh, there's a lot of things worse, right? Chlamydia is pretty bad. Chlamydia is worse than running out of propane on your grill when you're cooking burgers. But it's pretty fucking bad. It's a nuisance. It's a hindrance when you're cooking some burgers on a hot summer afternoon or evening, and you go inside or you go somewhere and you come back outside to flip the burger. You open up the top of the grill and you realize, oh shit, I'm out of propane. And if you don't have the extra propane tank to switch them in and out, then you have a half-cooked burger. And wait, do you cook it on the stove? Do you put it in the oven, broil it? It's just, you want a grilled cheeseburger. But now you can't finish what you started because you're out of propane. So there was a 2-month period this winter where I didn't refill the extra propane tank every weekend, every Saturday, every Sunday. So I'm gonna go get that filled. I didn't do it. And much like this package, it lingers. It put up a beach chair in my corrupt brain and took up space, unneeded space, where I could have been thinking about jokes, bits, movies. I haven't put out a movie in a few months. And the reason why is because I can't think of anything. I sit down each day for 45 minutes and try to think of jokes. One day I think of jokes, bits for my stand-up, and then the following day I think of ideas for movies for this project, Verbal Graffiti. I haven't come up with a new movie idea this year. We're into May. And I think partially the reason why is because I just have these little tasks, these errands that I need to run, that can be quickly done. Half hour. Go to the store. Go to the propane tank place. Right? Go to the gas station. But again, that's a half hour I don't want to waste out of my day because I don't have a lot of free time. I know you guys are going to laugh at me for saying that because I don't have kids. I have a day job, like a real full-time job, but it's really not a stressful job. I really have no stress in my life. But I came to the realization that this past weekend, you get that feeling that there's not enough hours in the day. And I realized, no, that's wrong. Like there are plenty of hours in the day. But the thing that takes up most of those hours is your work, is your job. Right? If you could get rid of your job, that'd be, you could sleep an extra 2 hours. And then from 11 a.m. to 3 to 4 p.m., those would be the extra hours that you could use so that, at the end of the day, you wouldn't feel like you needed more hours in the day. Because what happens with me, and I bet you this happens with some of you as well, is you work, then maybe you have your passion project, whatever the heck that is. You do it at night. Maybe you got a second job to help pay your bills. Maybe you got family. Maybe you got a concubine of babes down the street. Whatever it is, it's 11. It's midnight, and you should go to bed because if you don't go to bed now, you're going to be exhausted the whole entire next day. But you haven't had any time to yourself. So it's either you go to bed or you take an extra half hour or hour, to, I don't know, midnight or to 12:30 to 1 a.m. or whatever that late time is for you to look through the news or look through your phone or whatever it is you do to relax, to settle down. You do that instead of going to sleep because you spent the rest of the day serving the needs of others and maybe yourself as well for whatever gigs, jazz you got going on, right? But I'm talking about is like there are enough hours in the day. It's just so many people are pulling at your hours, need your hours. You give them your hours, and you only have so much bandwidth in your brain. And for me, 45 minutes a day, I'm trying to think of a movie to make. Right, of a joke idea. But I don't come up with any movies. And part of the reason why is several times throughout the day, I'll glance at this box knowing it needs to be returned. And the only person that can return it is the B-man. And I don't return it, so that lingers up in my head like I've just told you 5-10 times already. I'm just talking circles here. Like the propane tank previously. If I don't fill that second propane tank, it just, it's in my brain. It never goes away. I'm not the type of person who looks at something that needs to be done. I go, I should do that, and walk away and not think of it. I walk away, it stays with me until I do whatever task needs to be completed. And then all those little tasks, the box, the propane, whatever, whatever little projects around the house need to be done, stays up here, right? And then it gets cluttered up here. And in my mind's not clear to think of the art that I can possibly create and put out into this world. That's what this box represents. And I could tell you right now, I can tell you, you know what, tomorrow afternoon, all right, but during my lunch break, I'm going to, instead of working, which I usually do, I work through my lunch break so I could sign out a little early. No, I'll go to UPS, return this package. I won't do it. That's just who I am. And I'm a big believer that you don't change your ways. If you're a loser when you're 16, you're going to be a loser when you're 36. You don't change. You're a loser for life. All right, and I'm somebody who puts off tasks for life. I want to be the person who brings this, all right, down to the post office. It's not me. And that's why I'm a loser. That's why I'm a failure. That's why there's always a sense of uneasiness in my brain, in me, because I just won't bring this to the package store and get my $50 back. Can any of you relate? All right, moving forward. This next one comes from subreddit called Focused Men. something the B-Man is not. My father always told me, if you want to go for a run, go for a run. Don't look for company. Sooner or later, on your 5th run or your 20th, like-minded people find you themselves. And only recently have I realized that this principle works everywhere. That is not sage advice. What your father should have told you is to get money, get bitches, get a prenup. That's what every father should tell his son or his daughter. All right? Get bitches, get the money, get the bank, sign a prenup. Now, my father didn't tell me either of those. He didn't tell me to go out for a run and people will show up. He didn't tell me to get bitches and get money. My dad told me, actually, his thing he always told me was have fun. Every time I left the house, he would kind of yell, have fun. That's great advice. And the older I get, the more that's sage advice. Telling your son or your kids, tell them have fun. Right? If your kids have fun, they'll have fun in life. So always tell your kids have fun, whatever it is you're doing. Right? If you're just going after the bag, it's nice. It's nice to have the money. It's needed. It's nice to have the bitches. But as long as you're having fun, whatever it is you're doing, you'll have a youthful spirit to you. So thank you, Dad, for telling me to have fun. And that's what I'm trying to do here at Verbal Graffiti. But that's terrible. This advice, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Practically, like metaphorically, and if you take it not metaphorically, either way, it doesn't work. I run. I'm a road runner. I run a few days a week, 3, 4, 5 miles on the road. I like running alone. I don't like running with other people. I'd get aggravated if I was running my 20th time alone and then somebody came alongside me and started running at my pace. I'd be like, back the fuck up. I don't even like, you ever walk on a city street? Or maybe you're out shopping, grocery store, wherever you're at, and you find yourself walking the same pace as a stranger beside you. That makes me feel uncomfortable. So in those instances, if I'm walking at the same pace as a stranger alongside me, I'll either pick up my speed or slow down to get behind the stranger. Because when you're walking a city block, multiple city blocks next to a stranger at the exact same pace, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't want anybody near me when I'm walking or running. So that would make me upset. That'd make me feel uncomfortable. When I run to get away from the world, to get away from the voices in my head, to find clarity, to get some exercise, so I'm able to keep that heartbeat up. But I do it for myself, to listen to music, get in my own head. I'm trying to get away from reality when I run. That's why I enjoy it. Now, with some strangers, like-minded strangers who run at the same exact pace as me, showed up on the road right alongside me, I'd quit running. If that kept happening to me, like, dude, this sucks. I'd get a treadmill. I'd get fat. One or the other, but I wouldn't continue running. So the literal statement, that doesn't work. And your father, he's just wrong. It's a wrong philosophy. It's a wrong advice to give. And look at this. I've been doing Verbal Graffiti, 235 episodes. Remember to like, subscribe. Tell a friend of yours who's busty and has loose morals about the B-Man and have her reach out to the B-Man. Leave your comment below. But I've been doing this 235 episodes. Nobody's come. I have 71 subscribers right now. We're back up to 71. We were at 71 dipped down to 70. We lost somebody, and now we're back up to 71. So I'm happy about that. But that's not a lot. That's not enough to get monetized. I'm doing my own thing. Here at Verbal Graffiti, there's nobody coming along for the ride. I'm just out in the wilderness. Like what your father told you is dangerous. Because if you just keep going out, running, wait, and just keep doing it yourself, and then your father says, don't worry. And there will be a time when like-minded people will come alongside you and you'll get a group and you'll be happy. The more likely scenario is you end up in the Atlantic Ocean drowning. You get what I'm getting at? Because the thing that I'm talking about here, nobody wants to listen to. Like my interest, good luck finding somebody who has an affinity for vintage smut and dirty stand-up comedy. All right, the things I'm into, Cyberpunk 2077, which I finally beat the game, or at least the main storyline. Took me almost 6 months to do so. But Cyberpunk, the Yankees, dirty comedy, vintage smut, gooning, talking about teeth, road running. Who else likes all that? Nobody. Like I can't make a cult with those interests, these things that I do. Been doing stand-up over a decade now. No following. All right? When you listen to your father's advice, you end up Section 8 housing. That's where you end up. Don't listen to your father. Sometimes when you're out by yourself in the wilderness, you went the wrong way. Right? And a group of people, the group of the Grinch, and all the village where all the people when the Grinch live, they're a community because they're like-minded. They're normies. But sometimes you just take a wrong turn. And if you never turn around, you'll never be seen again. So this is, and honestly, there's some things you do where you don't want other people showing up. Because I'm a gooner. All right? If I'm gooning and somebody else they just pops out of nowhere while I'm gooning, it's probably going to be a police officer. And I'm going to end up in prison. I don't want that. Or maybe you're robbing a bank, and a like-minded person is robbing the bank at the same time you're trying to rob it, and then the other robber shoots you. So you end up in the hospital because a like-minded person showed up. So not every activity or every interest is something you're doing where you'll want companionship. Or just a friend alongside you. So, you had a terrible father. I had a good father. My father told me, have fun. I'm having fun. Your father's advice, you end up dead in the Atlantic Ocean. Let's go look at something. Do you need to be a big old lesbian to play in the WNBA? Hand up, I don't know a whole lot about the WNBA. Probably more than most of you do, though. I live in Connecticut. The Sun are relocating to Houston, Texas next season. A sad loss for the state of Connecticut. I just asked because then it just seems every basketball player in the WNBA loves the sniz. So if you're not a muff diver, you're probably not going to make it to the WNBA. Right? This is nothing new here. I was running. I saw a high school, I think it was high school softball. Right? I didn't say, hey, if you got a daughter and she's playing a sport, softball, or especially basketball, and she wants to do AAU, travel ball, all that jazz, ask her if she's a lesbian. Because if she's not a lesbian, tell her she's wasting her time. She's never going to make it to the league. Hey, I don't think this is groundbreaking. I think we all know this. It's just very odd that all these, maybe it's not odd. It is what it is. WNBA players, they love the vagina. Why does the athletic ability and lesbians, why do those work together? Don't know. I'm not genetic doctor, scientist. Let's move forward. Huh? Let's move forward. All right, this next one comes from the subreddit Deep Thoughts. Some say that previous thought I had wasn't deep at all. Subreddit Deep Thoughts. Modern society has confused fun with consumption, entertainment, or even addiction. Real fun does not involve any of these. No, watching movies or TV shows is not fun. That's entertainment, all capital letters. No, playing video games is not fun. Most of the time. That's consumption, all capital letters. No, gambling is not fun. That's addiction, LOL, laugh out loud. Weird location to put that LOL. This, in my honest opinion, ties in with my anecdotal observation that most people are in fact boring, but that's a conversation for another day. Really, that's the only conversation I want to have here at Verbal Graffiti is why are most people boring? But you said that's for another day, so we're going to focus on all things fun. Episode 235, segment 2. Please like, subscribe, tell somebody you know with a busty chest that the B-man's looking for her. All right, so I had to get that little plug out of the way. This episode, the theme is disagreement, because I disagree with everything you're saying. Consumption, addiction, what was it? Consumption, addiction, what was the other thing? Oh, entertainment. They're all fun. They might not be fun to you, but that's the tricky thing about the word fun. Really, there shouldn't be a definition for the word fun, because your fun, clearly, and my fun are different. And there's a good chance whatever it is you think is fun, I think is boring as fuck. And what I think is fun, you think is perverted. See, the word fun is like water. It can take on any shape, depending on where it is. So, yeah, let's eliminate the definition of the word fun from Webster's dictionary. And that's the tricky thing about fun. Now, I think all those things can be fun, right? Entertainment, movies, TV shows, verbal graffiti, consumption, alcohol, drugs, soda, potato, whatever you're consuming, stuffing in that mouth, putting in that gullet of yours, right? Addiction, porn, cheating, gambling, whatever. It's all fun. Right? The high. It's what gives you the adrenaline, the dopamine rush. Video games. You got another kill. You level up. It's fun. Right? It's all fun, but again, your fun and my fun are different. That's why we're not going to see eye to eye. We're not gonna swap swords with each other. I can't. The funny thing is, though, you didn't tell us what your fun is. You just told us we're all boring. But what do you consider fun? Do you read? Because that's entertainment. That's consumption. You're just a boring reader. All I can do here is tell you what my fun is. All right, my fun is doing nothing. My favorite thing to do is you have a Saturday or a Sunday or maybe a PTO day where I have no obligations. I've finished all my editing for Verbal Graffiti. It's a night where I'm not booked to do stand-up comedy. I wake up and I know I have a clean slate. I can just scroll through my phone, maybe eat some ice cream in the afternoon, just waste time. Wasting time is my favorite thing to do. To me, that's fun. To you, that you're doing everything you can to not waste any time. All right, most people, they have an empty block of time on a day or a part of a day. You try to fill that. You try to fill every empty block that you have. The Babes, Bill Burr has a great joke about that. Oh, great, Saturday afternoon, let's fill that with some activity to do together. Women, the babes, are great at ruining your fun. But for me, like, that's I love doom scrolling. I love sitting in my room with no obligations, without anything to do. In fact, if you put me in solitary confinement, and I could actually eat good food, not prison food. If you could put me in a cell that's 20 by 20 that has Wi-Fi, electricity, plumbing, a shower, it has flat screen TV, my camera, my phone. I have screens, and I eat good meals. To me, that'd be utopia. I would love those living conditions. For most people, that would be hell. Solitary confinement with no one to talk to, no interaction. That would be the last place someone would want to be. For me, it's like, yes, sign me up. Throw away the key. All right, as long as I had a comfortable bed and a nice chair, let's go. Beach towel lagoon on. I'm all about that lifestyle. But again, I think most people, that's a fear of theirs. They don't want that. No, I don't want like real solitary confinement, but the confinement I just described, that's all right. That's living life. Hey, I do have this burden. Thinking about the term fun and what my fun is. The most fun I ever had was like elementary and middle school, like the summers during those years when I was a kid. To me, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. I had no obligations, nowhere to be, no school activity, no reading assignments. It's a summer day. It didn't matter what time I would wake up. This is kind of my schedule for most summer days. I would wake up 10 o'clock. I'd come downstairs. I'd watch reruns of Beverly Hills 90210, the original. All right, maybe some of my sisters would be there. I'd eat breakfast, Fruit Loops. Then I'd go outside, play wiffle ball with the boys from the hood, the neighborhood. Then we go swimming. We play Stuck in the Mud, Marco Polo. We do whirlpools. We go from one house pool to another pool. Then we'd come home. We'd eat dinner at our separate houses. Then we'd come back at night and play night tag with each other. And then I'd come home, watch TV till, 11 o'clock, go to bed, and do it the next day over and over and over for 2 months in a row. All right, July and August. That, to me, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. And now there's a heaviness knowing my life will never be that fun ever again for eternity. And I don't know what happens after we die, but in all likelihood, it will not be as fun as those summers I had as a child, pre-puberty and during puberty. That there's a heavy burden knowing like I'll have fun, hopefully, going forward, but it will never be as fun as those summers. Man, that sucks. At least I had those summers. Be grateful for that, right? Be grateful for what you have. Pedestrian-sized penis. All right, but there's also a little thing with fun too. I kind of brought this up with the babes from that Bill Burr joke, but there are people whose fun is taking away your fun. Like teachers, for example. Teachers love taking away your fun. School day's over, here's homework. Right? Instead of going home and enjoying your free time, no, I'm going to give you an assignment. Middle managers, they love fun. Oh, here's an assignment. You have nothing to do, here's another assignment. And they nitpick at everything you do. And most people are so selfish, they go out of their way to take away your fun. You work all week, or whatever your work schedule is, you finally have a free day. You get 20 PTO days this year. Oh, we're going to have a wedding. That nice, beautiful Saturday in June, October. Come celebrate our love 3 states away. Get a hotel room. right? Oh, you're free Saturday. Oh, let's go to the store together. Let's go out to dinner. Let's let's get an activity going with the other couples, with the other friends, and everyone's just kind of, oh, let's have a family reunion. Let's have an anniversary party for your 70th birthday. It's like any free day you get, somebody you know is trying to steal it from you. Pitiful. They should be called out for that. That's why I don't want to get married. I don't celebrate any anniversary or birthday for me. No, that's a Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. Have whatever your fun is with it. Don't let the B-man and what's going on in my life interrupt your fun. That's what a wedding is. That's what an anniversary, that's what a reunion is. All those activities that you got to travel to on your day off, it's sucking the life out of your fun. Don't be one of those people. But most of you are. Because for a lot of people, that's what your fun is. Oh, New Year's Eve. Let's plan a big party and get everyone together and we'll dress up. Right? Oh, you'll find, because you have to, first off, let's go out and have an event. No. Most people just want to stay home, watch TV, watch some football, watch the ball drop. But no, you're going to extract them from that fun to whatever stupid activity you want to do to celebrate the new year. There's going to be one next year, unless you kick the bucket. And if you kick the bucket, you're going to make us go to your funeral, your wake. Never ends. Never ends. At least I had those summers, though. But yeah, fun is whatever your fun is. I'm going to go goon, have some fun myself. Go suck a fat one.